Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 19 here for Couple Sutra. Start off with the sex edition of the week. Well, it is our official second time not getting it done. We did have sex this week, but we had time to do the other position because we weren't in the mood to try it. And by the time we were in the mood, I got sick this week. We thought it was allergies, which it still could have been, but it got really bad, and I'm still getting over it. My nose hurts. My sinuses hurt.
I was in the mood to try that position, but I was enjoying what we were doing, so kept with it.
Yeah, we didn't want to disrupt that. So we didn't get to it. So I did, just before we started recording, I did attempt to see if I can get my body in the position, and I can. So we will add that. We will have to do both of the sex positions last week's and then the new one for this week. And we'll report back on the butter churner for next week since we did not achieve yet. And then the joke of the week was, what did the toaster say to the slice of bread?
What?
I want you inside me. I like it. All right. How our week went. So first we did get a listener wrote in to us on Instagram. Jeff's going to share that right now.
Yeah, that was exciting because I know we talked about last week. Our advice was talking about if porn becomes a problem, stopping watching it since it can affect people's lives. And they wrote in and they talked about too a little bit how it's worked well for them, like with his wife home a lot of times, like being the homemaker, he said, and finding it's working well for us doing that too. When you were just saying today too how you feel like you have so much less stress doing stuff like working for yourself here and there at home. We got a cat in front of the microphone. Okay. And anyway, he wrote, as far as porn is concerned, I do agree with much of what you said and the possibility of addiction, and if it becomes something that interferes in a healthy relationship, it is a problem. So saying if it interferes with a healthy relationship, then it's a problem. He said, for us, it's not an issue that I, and sometimes she, watches porn. I fantasize about other women. It's in my nature, which, he's human. I think most men and even women have fantasies about things outside of our normal relationship. The key, in my opinion, is honesty and being comfortable and open. My wife is awesome, and she knows me very well and does not feel threatened by the fact that visual stimuli other than her turns me on. I think ultimately it's a personal decision, and porn won't always lead to you not desiring your partner, at least not in our case. I still desire her and need her daily. Just my perspective.
Yeah,
so, I like that.
Because everyone has a different perspective and take on it, and it can affect people differently.
And like I said, we'll watch it together here and there, but we end up laughing usually.
Yeah, we gotta find the right stuff. So hey, if you have any recommendations for us,
we learn stuff about each other too. It's kind of like advice, like getting to know each other. Like, you really you want the story, and you like all that.
Yeah. And
kind of like our listener that wrote in, it's the visual stimuli, and it's what's happening, but also it's the visual too. Yeah. So you just need to, for me, I know I need to do more of the story part, have like the candles lit sometimes, and or have it be more spontaneous. And for you, it's wear something sexy.
Like you want me to wear something sexy. Yeah. It's fun though. It's fun unless I ate a big meal and then I'm like, the loosest clothes ever with the lights off.
Yeah.
I also like that he mentioned, well, I know you said that at the beginning about working from home and how that's worked, and kind of how we threw it back to, I don't know if we had the arrows right when we said 50s or 60s, but I don't know.
Yeah, because you're doing so like
we weren't saying anything bad about it. We just know, it was kind of more of the norm back then. But prices and stuff, it was a lot easier to do back then. But if you are able to do it, my stress is, I get. My patience with our dogs are a lot better. I tend to get angry fast sometimes, and I think since this change, I have gotten a little bit better, and maybe that's because I'm not as stressed. I don't know.
And I've been happier too because I feel like I have less of the house chores to do because you'll do them when I'm at work, and it's relieved a lot of stress on me too, and I'm a lot happier. And we have a dog whining.
Yeah, sorry if you hear that in the background. All right, and then more about our week. I actually just started a new business. I'm just all about starting new things. So I am a crafter. I've been doing that for a little bit now, and then I just started another social marketing business, and it is with Modere. And I will actually include a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's just a clean living. They help with weight loss. There's collagen, help with anyone who has wrinkles and wants help with that.
Well, you have your house products too, right?
Well, yep. So there's
okay,
the house,
sorry, I was jumping.
I was getting there. Yeah, they have house products, toothpaste, laundry, detergent. So it's really cool. I don't know too much about it yet, so more to come. But if you guys want to support that, you will see the names are different. We're going to be honest. We go by different names for work purposes. You know what we're talking about here, we're not ashamed of at all, but you know how the outsiders, people can judge. So just to protect us from work, we go by different names. So you'll see a different name in the link. So don't let that alarm you. And we're also thinking about starting a Patreon site so that some people who want more and want to see our faces and stuff, we would put it on there. We're not going to start it up quite yet. We're trying to figure out. So Patreon, obviously, you do a monthly subscription. We're thinking $5. But we want to make it worth it for you guys. So we'll check back with you on when that's coming. But if you have any advice for us on what we should include in there that would make you want to subscribe to it,
like maybe the demonstration of sex position of the week, but clothed.
Yeah, obviously we will be fully clothed. We're not. Well, OnlyFans does both. Like, I feel like you can get.
We don't do that though.
We're not going to do that. But yeah, so very exciting. A lot of stuff. A lot of changes again, but for the better. So.
Wow, our pets.
Hey, Lola. All right. So advice of the week I got from closecompanions.org, and this one is talking about how your phone is leeching off your relationship. And so I'm going to actually read a majority of this because it was very interesting. And the summary of it is, over-reliance on your smartphone may be detrimental to health of your relationship. If you want to have a happy relationship, you should always put your spouse and friends above your smartphone. The more space you put between yourself and your phone, the closer your connection may get. So I am going to try to summarize some of it because it's long, but it's talking about how a lot of people now when they're out and about tend to be on their phone more than actually having a conversation with each other, whether it's a date or friends. Sorry if you hear a box in the background. It's affecting relationships in general. And they had this term called phubbing. And what is phubbing? It says, the term is coined by Oxford Dictionary and refers to someone who gives more attention, time, and energy to their smartphone instead of their partner. Phone snubbing. So phubbing is phone snubbing.
Oh, okay.
Phubbing is one sign of our growing dependency on smartphones and the internet. If our spouse prioritizes their phone above you, it implies that we aren't significant enough for our loved ones to pay attention to us. We feel unappreciated and ignored. So we make sure we try our best to put our phones away when we're on a date. Our phones are almost always away, unless we're trying to show someone something. We do know they're a distraction. We call each other out on it sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. It'll lead to issues too, because if you're on your phone and I was trying to talk and you didn't hear me, I will just be like, never mind. Like I won't continue what I was going to say because
arguments.
Because I'm frustrated and yeah.
And then there's a new study published in the journal Psychology of Popular Media Culture looked at how smartphone use and reliance impact college-aged adults' relationships. Young couples are questioned about their own cell phones and the smartphones of people in their life, such as a spouse or significant other. According to the findings, those who reported greater levels on each indicator had more unfavorable outcomes. There is less happiness in one's love connection when utilizing an electronic gadget, such as a phone. We all want to be acknowledged, cared for, loved, and understood as people, and couples who feel this way have more happy and long-lasting relationships than couples who do not. Responding to a phone, email, or text during romantic times, shared meals, or even ordinary discussions sends a clear message that one partner is less deserving of the other's attention, and this may create significant stress on the relationship. The The psychological dependency of these gadgets and one's desire to be continuously connected with their smartphone may impact relationships even more than their actual use. So they're saying how to turn it around and to avoid phubbing. They're like, put your phone away when you're around other people, turn off all notifications, create rules and boundaries to govern phone use, block any websites and programs that are obnoxious, just pretty much anything. I know I used to do dinners with friends. We did Ace Wings, and I learned this from somebody else, or it was probably Facebook, and I made everybody, when we got there, put their phone on silent and upside down in the middle of the table. And if someone were to look at it, the first one who caved would have to pay for the whole meal for everybody. And everyone left their phone there the whole time, and it was nice because, that was the friend side of it, because you're there to have a conversation. Like, you're not there to eat and look at your phones. You can do that at home. Like, we were out to have the company. So the takeaway, they said, if you're always looking through your smartphone instead of interacting face-to-face, there won't be a connection between you and your partner. Luckily, there is a solution. Both partners can commit to relating temporarily without their phones. If successful, they can try to replace this habit using other forms of media such as books. That, I don't know. I
feel like that's still... I mean, you're not feeding, the addiction to the technology, at least with that. But,
but I wouldn't even bring the books into it. They're just saying, remember to put down your phone when you're with each other. And
I feel like part of it is so many people... I feel like with... What is it? You have, GIFs, and there used to have Vines, and now TikTok, which thankfully we don't have, because that'd be just one more thing we'd look at. People's attention spans are getting shorter. I was sitting here while you were reading that whole long thing, thinking I need a haircut. Because my mind is wandering. So, that's all about being mindful, which is hard
so you're
sometimes.
looking all over the room, you couldn't pay attention. You kept just watching the animals make the noise.
It was a long, drawn out thing. They took a long time to get to the point.
Well, there was a lot to go into it. Sorry you didn't like it.
Well, it wasn't bad. I think it was good. It just was long.
Okay.
It was not your fault it was long. It was just theirs. They spread it out so that there was a good point here, then good point here.
All right,
so
you have the date idea?
No, I feel like you were still talking about that. I don't want to cut you off.
I was done with it. You just didn't like it, so...
I think it's probably one of the biggest things in relationships. I get frustrated, or not frustrated, but irritated when we're talking and you're on the phone or something. We've had fights about it.
It goes both ways.
I don't do it a lot, but I know I do it too. But, yeah. I think how people can start doing that more, breaking that, not taking their phones to the bathroom. I take mine.
I feel like that's the one place it's okay to have it out.
But I'm just saying, it's just another time where people have it, so they're getting used to always having their phone.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thankful I'm not allowed to have my phone at work.
Yeah.
So it's 8 hours a day where I'm not with my phone.
We do better too than I've ever done before. My parents are on there when I'm oh my gosh,
mine too.
When we're at my parents' house, my mom is constantly she gets sucked into. We don't have TikTok, and she will watch one video, and I know that TikTok plays one after the other, and I'm like, oh my, and here's us not on our phones. I'm like, oh my God, put your phone down. We're talking.
My dad does that.
Or we're all watching something together, and it's annoying. But yeah. All right, let's move on to the date idea. I know you had this.
Okay, my date idea is to sit with someone and stare at your phone. I'm just kidding. Do the opposite of what you just said. So, I found a couple that I liked. But I'm just the main one. Yeah. So, it seems like it's obvious, and it's something we've done, but I don't think of it all the time. It says, challenge your date to an arcade. And this is from Good Housekeeping, which always reminds you of the movie Step Brothers.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
So it says challenge them at an arcade. So it says go a few rounds at Miss Pac-Man or Big Deer Hunter for a unique night out that will bring out the competitive side, which I like when we've gone to
we talked about going to an arcade before.
Yeah. So
you were repeating dates.
We talked about doing this as a date.
Yeah.
I thought we mentioned that just as something we did.
Oh.
I didn't think that was our date idea that week, so I thought it was fine to do it.
No, I don't know. Well,
if not,
we're repeating. Sorry, guys.
Well, Fine. Then I'm doing the next one.
We'll do 2 just in case.
Yeah.
I do like that idea.
Whatever. So the other one too that was close to it, and it's a date it's a date about a date. It's plan a future date. If you're a little short on cashola right now, crack open a bottle of wine and spend a cozy night in planning an extravagant future date. Romantic, whether you actually go on it or not.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too, partly because it reminds me of, like, it doesn't have to just be the date you're planning. It's fun, like, planning a vacation, or when we'd sit there and look at pictures of, like, our dream house someday. Like, we want this, and we can put it together on, like, we had that Pinterest thing. So it's just kind of fun planning future stuff. So, I mean, if it's your first date, maybe don't plan a date a couple months down the road.
First date, plan your second date.
That actually sounds kind of fun, though. Hey, first date, let's plan our second date.
I mean,
and that's all you do.
I mean, do it at the end of the date. That means it went well. All right, let's go into sex stories. I got mine off of BuzzFeed, and it said this nerdy coupling, and this kind of reminded me of us. I'll tell you why it reminds me of me mostly. So they said, we put something random on the TV to mask our sex sounds. It was a documentary about excavating something in England, and they were finding older and older stuff as they kept digging. They didn't expect it at all since they were initially only after the surface stuff. You can already tell they're distracted by how much detail he's going into. This is important because her and I were both paying attention to this because we're big nerds, but we're also polite, so we both didn't let on that we were half watching it. Eventually, she exclaimed, "Are those Roman coins?" And after laughing, we decided it was a good time for a break and a snack. It made me laugh because we'll be watching a show and Jeff will start to go down on me. And I'm just like, no, I'm like, I want to watch the show, but I want him to go down on me, but I'm like, I'm really into the show. And so I warned him, like, I'm probably going to be distracted.
Yeah, you pay more. You will be distracted by a cat, or there's a noise.
Well, that's in the bedroom when there's not TV on.
Yeah, so everything is distracting you, and I'm just kind of down there like, well, I got to try something different. I'm like, I have to try something different because I'm licking her knee. I'm not even in the right spot, apparently.
But yeah, that made me laugh because it did make me think of myself when I get distracted if the TV's on.
And you love nothing more than thinking of yourself.
Haha. All right, your turn.
Okay, but before that, I'm doing the first sex joke. What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece? I'm starting over. What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece of hair stuck between his front teeth?
What?
I'm glad he ate her. Yeah.
But hair? Oh.
Yeah. Well, they had to have the hair so you knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
All right. So this is from Reddit. And it's by Deleted, so I don't know who the name actually is or if their name is deleted. And it's a woman. She writes, I had sex with a guy that was so shy he wouldn't even take his shirt off while we were having sex, even when I insisted. Just some spooning that turned into sex. Never changed it up. He would get so discombobulated if I tried to take control and would start making weird tick noises that he said were out of nervousness. He didn't want to come in my mouth or on my stomach, so he came in a plant.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He would say he was about to come, and he'd ask where, and I'd tell him all the cool spots. But his response to all of them was, I feel bad. So he ran over to the plant, while I just laid there like, what? By far the strangest guy I've had sex with.
Like the fact that he had to actually get up to go and come.
I mean, I get that. Sometimes, like, in my mind, it's like...
Well, you've always said you felt like it was depreciating, but I
degrading.
Depreciating. God, you guys.
My cum is not going up in value.
My words today are not matching what I'm trying to say. Degrading.
Yeah.
But a plant, that's not nice. I bet you there's some study. I wonder if there's any good to coming on a plant.
Probably. You're giving it some nutrients, I'm sure. But somebody commented, take great care that nothing hybridish starts growing in the spot. Are there laws against plant abuse? Yeah.
That's fine.
So, that was mine.
I like it. I just did the one. I'm gonna.
Oh, hey, I just found a thread of comments that you should read because it says, "What are the signs that you're actually the toxic person?" Okay.
All right. Sex position of the week. I'm sorry, it does not have a fun name, but it looked fun. So it's hands behind ankles. So clearly, they have handcuffs. So when you see the picture on our social media, she wasn't just holding her hands together. The one on the bottom did have their hands actually handcuffed around their ankles. So it looks really fun. There's a little flexibility to it, just a back bend, but should be easy enough. And then
it should be, but
you know us, we always pick a fun one and are like, well, that didn't happen. All right, remember everything we discussed is a try at your own risk. We are not responsible for any injuries. Our podcast comes out every Wednesday morning. Social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Couples Sutra, or email us at couplessutra@gmail.com. Please go like and subscribe, and email us your sex stories, positions, thoughts, issues, honestly, anything, and we will share. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you all next week, unless Jeff has one more joke.
Yep, I have to end with a joke.
Ending with a joke.
All right. A family's driving behind a garbage truck when a dildo flies out and thumps against the windshield. Embarrassed and trying to spare her young son's innocence, the mother turns around and says, "Don't worry, dear, that was just an insect." While the boy replies, "I'm surprised it could get off the ground with a cock like that." I should have said it different, like a cock like that. I don't know. I didn't like how I said it. I'll never be a stand-up comedian.
I laughed, so I think it was a good one.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you.
All right, thanks for listening to my joke.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Hey guys, stock up on Halloween candy, costumes for you and your pets, and spooky decor via Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order of $10 or more. Please click on the link in our description to get started.